So this is the way that the vector and array list get stored, and this is using the dynamic array implementation. And you can see here I have initialized an array list or vector anything, and it's an integer value, and we have around some 5 values inside this object values. Okay, and how it will get stored? It's similar to the form of the static array that we have seen before. It will have the index from starting from 0 to the value that is available inside this values, okay, list. So here we have around 5 values, right? So it starts from 0 and ends till 4, and each values get stored into the index that are available. Okay, so 10 gets stored to 0, 20 gets stored to 1, and 32, like that it will get stored to this index. And this is how you can access the values also. Based on the index you can get it. And this is for the vector and array list. And if you want to insert a value, right, so in static array it is not applicable, right? So here since it is a dynamic array, for example, values dot add, and you have to give, this is the add method, with index also you have it. Okay, say for example you have to insert an value in the second index. 70 needs to be inserted inside the second index. Then you can just use this method and push the value 70 to the second index. And now it will get stored in this format. Okay, so the size will get increased. So you can see here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 10 and 20 will be there. Since the second index got changed, it will change to 70, and after that each value will move to the next index one by one. Okay, so it will keep shifting one by one. That's why it is somewhat slower when compared to linked list, in terms of inserting a new value in the middle of the indexes. Okay, so this is one important point, that when you compare with the vector or array list with the linked list. Okay, even if you are trying to remove an value, right, say for example you have an option called values dot remove, and you can specify the index and the values there. So what it will do is, say for example, I need to remove the value 20, means it will remove this 20, and each index will keep moving one by one before. Okay, 70 will come to the first index, 30 will come to second index, 40 will come to third index, and 50 will come to fourth index. So this type of movement, right, it takes much time when compared to the linked list, because linked list is using the double linked list concept that we have in data structure. Okay, so for that that operation takes time. If you have any kind of requirement that you want to insert or remove the values of in middle of the some index, then you can just go for the linked list. If you are choosing some get operation, right, only you want to access, store and access the values, then array list is much better than linked list, because get operation, linked list takes more time. So that we'll see one by one, but this is how it stores the values inside a vector and array list. Okay, so this is how the values will be assigned. And for the linked list, so this is for the linked list, and it uses the double linked list concept here. And you can see I have assigned an I have initialized an object called values, and that's it's with the generic integer, and it stores around 4 values here, 10, 20, and 30, and 40. And this is how the linked list will get stored. Okay, so it has three parts. The first one is the previous node, and the middle one is the data, and the third one is the next node. Okay, and the previous node for the 0th index will be null, and the next node of the last index will be null, and this is called as an head and tail. Okay, and here you can see it has an address, right? So this whole thing, right, is called 0th index, and this whole thing is called first index, this whole thing is called second, and this is called third. And each index will have their own address. Okay, so for example, the 0th index has an address as A, first index has an address B, second C, and third is D. And how it will get the nodes will get stored is, here you can see it stores B in the second next node, right, of the 0th index. So it goes here and checks the next index address, and that gets stored in the next node, okay, of the previous index. And here you can see in the first index previous node, right, it will go and check the address of the previous index, that is A, and it gets stored here. Okay, and it comes here in the next node. What it has to do, it has to go and search for the address of the next index, so that is C, right. So it gets stored here. And for the second index previous node, it goes and search for the address of the previous index, that is B, and it gets stored here. and the second index next node, it has to go and search for the next index address, that is D. It gets stored here. And the previous node of the third index, what it has to do, it has to go and search for the previous address, and it stores the value as C. And here there is nothing in the for the getting the value, right, address, so it stores the last next node as null, so that is tail. Okay, so this is how it gets stored. Okay, now let me add an value inside this one. Okay, say for example, in the first index, I want to change the value to 70. So now in the first index, we have the value as 20, right? So I'm going to change it as 70. So we can use this method, add method, and we can change it. And once you change this one, what will happen is the zeroth index, you can see the address will remain the same. And the next first index value, we are changing it as 70, right? So it will get created and a new address will be added to it. Okay, and the changes will happen only at this three places for the zeroth, first, and second. Okay, I mean whatever the index that you are adding, right, the previous and next index only will get affected. All the indexes that are available after that is not going to change. Okay, for example, here we have the address as A. Okay, and here you store it as B, right, since the next index address is B. But now we inserted one value and the address got changed to E, so the next index, sorry, the next node for the zeroth index changes to E. Okay, and here in the first index, the previous node gets the value from the previous index, that is A, and it stores in the previous node. And here in the next node of the first index gets the value of the address that is available in the next index, that is the second index B, and it gets stores here. And here in the previous node, it goes and checks the previous index address, that is E, that is newly inserted, right? So it gets stored here, and the next node will not get changed because that is not going to change, right? Only the value has been inserted here, so it will not change the values after this one. Okay, so it remains to be same. And say for example, we have only two index after that. If you are having 50 indexes after this one, nothing will get keep changing, right? So that's why it is much faster when compared to the dynamic array. The places that get changed only in this three indexes. Okay, after that the values are not going to change, and it will not keep pushing one by one when comparing with the dynamic array. In dynamic array, if we insert the value in the second index, what happens? Then the third index will move, fourth will get move, fifth will get move, and if you have 50 indexes, each one will get shifting one by one, and it takes more time. Okay, when you are inserting value, or if you are adding and removing, and this things you can use the linked list concept, because this is much faster when compared to the array list. Okay, that since it has an three parts, right, previous and next node are also getting stored in each indexes, this has more memory consumption when compared to the array list. So that is one important point that you have to note it down. And the array list will not consume more memory, but the linked list will consume more memory since it has the previous and next node storage in each indexes. Okay, so this we will see when we are seeing the differences between the array list and linked list. Okay.